Let me tell you a story, one filled with heartache, adventure, drama, and a little bit of racial bigotry. Welcome to Randy Random's Radical Adventure. Before this adventure can properly begin, let me talk you through the plethora of rules associated with this story. First of all, this is a Pokemon Emerald Randomiser Nuzlocke. This means that each Pokemon that is encountered in the wild will be random, meaning that each Pokemon that is caught will be random, not allowing for any team preparation beforehand. If all Pokemon in the party are killed, and the trainer wipes out, then the run is considered over. Only the first Pokemon encountered on each route is capturable. If it faints or flees, then that Pokemon on the route is forfeited. No items are allowed to be used in battles. Before and after each battle, items can be used, but not during. If any Pokemon caught faints, then that Pokemon is considered dead, and is unable to be used in any battle. However, they can be used as HM slaves. If all Pokemon in the party is killed except for the HM slave, then that counts as a lost run. Overworld items are randomized as well. If one of these items are a revive or max revive, this item can be used on a deceased Pokemon, reviving them, making them usable in battle once more. No legendaries can be used. For each gym, Pokemon can only be 2 levels above the gym leader's highest leveled Pokemon. This counts for the Elite Four and the Champion fight. Now, with all that out of the way, this story can truly begin. Our story begins in the back of a moving van. We arrive at our new house and stumble outside with our presumable severe concussion and head trauma with possible brain hemorrhaging. This point is further driven home by the hallucinating of large hairy men inside our new home. We decide not to mention them to our mother, as our schizophrenic episode could land us in a psych ward. After some dialogue with our mother and meeting our new neighbours, who I theorise to be pagans, we hear some loud cries for help. After further investigation and some words from a young girl who was too big a pussy to check herself, we discover a man being chased by a wild zigzagoon. Holy shit, I just had a fucking stroke. Jesus Christ. We discover a man being chased by a wild zigzagoon, the most fearsome of all Pokemon on the planet. It is at this time that we are allowed to choose our starting Pokemon. Our options were quite varying and were, to my surprise, all quite usable. For me, it was a choice between either Diglett or Growlithe, as I've never met anyone in my life who gives a flying fuck about Natu, green pea looking head ass. After choosing our starter and absolutely waffle stomping our way through that zigzagoon fight, we make our way back to the professor's lab for what I was promised as being a good time. Instead, we're allowed to name our new Growlithe. After humming and hawing, I decided to name him Fiery, as I have no sense of creativity or originality whatsoever. We then make our way further north to find the professor's daughter, May, who was a part of that pagan family. We are then forced to have a trainer battle against her, in which I discover I've really lucked out. Because my Growlithe was in the position Mudkip would usually be, the game tried to counterpick it and gave my rival Trico. But my Growlithe is a fire type, so it counters Trico. This would have no effect later in the game, however, due to my randomizer settings randomizing the evolutions of Pokemon. We make quick work of May and follow her back home, where we receive a Pokedex, the professor's balls, and shoes from our mother. With all these essential items now in our possession, our Pokemon adventure can truly begin. Our first encounter of the adventure will come soon after on Route 101, as we encounter a Slowpoke. I've never used a Slowpoke before, and have no idea if it was actually useful, but I attempt to catch it regardless. On Route 103, I found a Zapdos, which I tried to catch before I came up with the no legendaries rule. Since I failed to catch it as well, I never caught a Pokemon on this route either. We did a little bit of grinding against the Zapdoses and then moved on to Route 102. It is on this route that we finally got a new Pokemon. We caught an Ampharos, an incredibly strong, viable Pokemon that won't change due to our random evolutions. We named my Ampharos Chance, as with this Pokemon, we might actually stand a chance at completing this run. With our new Ampharos safely tucked away in our back pockets, we continue on. Eventually, we find ourselves at Petalburg City, home to the worst gym leader in the game, our father. Speaking of which, we meet him soon after our arrival. During our conversation, a frail, sickly child rudely interrupts us, asking my father to help him catch a Pokemon. My father tasks me with this challenge. Sadly, we are forced to comply with this request, so I help the Asperger's kid catch his stupid little Pokemon. During this event, we end up getting soft-locked as Ricky Retardo has a Shedinja and is attempting to fight a Growlithe. The Shedinja ends up dying and a bad egg is sent out, which struggles once and the game is frozen. After restarting the ROM and making my way back to the encounter, we get through it without a hitch. We return to the gym and my father encourages me to take on the gym challenge and even challenge him. Don't worry, you old balding bastard. I'll return one day and you will regret ever conceiving me. Now that my father has been threatened, we move to Route 104 and encounter a Loudred, in which we easily catch. I decide to name him Lips, in honour of those fake Kim K lips he has. In the forest up ahead, my encounter is a Latios, in which once more was before I made the no legendaries rule, so I decide to just kill it and not bother trying to catch it. On the ground, I also find a thick club, which made me really wish that I'll encounter a Celio, for no particular reason. In that same forest, we have our first run-in with Team Aqua, a group which wants to flood the entire world, I think. I don't really know, because I just skip over the dialogue most of the time. If that is the case, this could be a huge problem for the entire African population, as they cannot swim. However, us white people would be quite content with this outcome. We would no longer be overshadowed in sports by this ethnic group. I quite like this idea, and have made up my mind. I will challenge the leader of Team Aqua, defeating him and becoming the new leader, so I can guarantee this plan comes to fruition. Turns out, this should prove to be quite easy, and this grunt was defeated by a 10-year-old who had had Pokemon for only about an hour and a half. That man that I accidentally saved during my crusade gave me a Great Ball for my valiant effort, and he seemed to be quite grateful. In truth, I didn't want a Great Ball as my reward. Instead, I wanted a Pawn Premium 1-month subscription, but beggars can't be choosers. We eventually make our way out of the forest, talk to some girl about flowers, and arrive at Rustboro City, home of the first gym leader. In the city, we receive the HM cut, and also do some tasks for that same guy I saved in the forest, and receive some old guy's phone number. During this time, I encounter Electabuzz on Route 116, which I name Voltage, and a Kecleon in that cave thingy, which I'm named Mystique. I grinded my Loudred and Ampharos to level 15 and my Growlithe to level 16. I didn't bother grinding my Electabuzz, and I hadn't encountered Mystique at this point during my grinding. That was the team that I challenged Roxanne with. I went into the gym with a simple plan in mind. Roxanne is a rock-type gym leader, and none of my Pokemon had any super effective moves. My plan was to lead with Lips, and spam Astonish to kill the first 2 Geodudes, and then use Ampharos to kill the Nose Pass with Thundershocks. Turns out, I severely overestimated Astonish's damage. Lips managed to take out the first Geodude, but the second would prove to be too much for him to handle. Lips would end up being the first casualty of the run. Rest in peace, Lips. You will be missed. Not really. He was kinda useless, and if anyone had to die, I'm kinda glad it was him. I switch into Growlithe and use Bite and run a train on the Geodude and Nosepass, winning the gym battle with only 1 casualty. Roxanne, who was now moister than an oyster due to my immense Pokemon training skills, who, by the way, I would definitely smash, gave me my first badge of the run, the first of many to come. This concludes our story for now. Will Randy Random be able to topple the Team Aqua leadership and complete his African genocide, whilst also completing the gym challenge with his mediocre Pokemon skills? Only time will tell. Until next time.